Okay, good afternoon. Today is April 2nd, and this is a voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. Haley, the vice chair, is excused. She is at a bill hearing across the street. So first, House Bill 685, and there are amendments. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 685 is the cross file of Senate Bill 516. It establishes the Maryland Aerospace and Technology Commission as an instrumentality of the state to promote innovation in the fields of space exploration and commercial aerospace opportunities. There are two amendments. The amendments establish the commission within the Department of Commerce and alter the membership, staffing, and duties of the commission. Move the amendments.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, the amendments pass. Motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? House Bill 685 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 1516 is an emergency bill. Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill extends the deadline for mailing property reassessment notices for fiscal 2025 only from 30 days after January 1st to May 1st. Current law requires that the previous assessment remain in effect if the notices are not sent by the deadline. Move the bill.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 1516 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 1516 passes favorably. Haley, I think Delegate Griffith wants to be recorded in the favorable on House Bill 685 as amended. Thank you. Senate Bill 0006, I'm holding. Senate Bill 138, I'm holding. Senate Bill 516, there are amendments. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 516 is the cross file of House Bill 685. It establishes the Maryland Aerospace and Technology Commission within the Department of Commerce to promote innovation in the fields of space exploration and commercial aerospace opportunities. There's one amendment. The amendment adds a representative of the University of Maryland College Park to the membership of the commission. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? Okay, motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Senate Bill 516 passes favorably as amended. Senate Bill 822, Delegate Attar. Nope, Delegate Feldmark, my bad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 822 expands eligibility for the existing subtraction modification for law enforcement officers who reside in political subdivisions with specified crime rates to include state law enforcement officers who reside in these qualifying political subdivisions. Move favorable.
Any discussion? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Yeah. What is what? Can you turn your mic on?
Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
remember her political division. What that?
That's the local government, so either the municipality.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, so the bill was not amended. All in favor of the bill signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Senate Bill 10. That was 822. Yes, passes favorably. Now, Delegate Ebersol, Senate Bill 883, and there are amendments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The amendments conform the bill to the form that we passed this bill out of the House earlier. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, Senate Bill 883 passes favorably as amended. Senate Bill 1042, I am holding. House Bill 1492, and there is a proposed. We're gonna do a verbal amendment here, and I will let Delegate Ebersol explain the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery is a test that students take to get a sense of what they might be good at. It is offered by the military for free. Students do decide to take it or not to take it. In 2010, we passed a law saying that students would have to choose to have their information shared with the military for contact. This bill would change it so that they would have to choose not to have their information shared. We would like to offer an amendment that says that if a local education agency chooses to go with the current policy, that it would supersede the state policy. In other words, they would be able to say they want the students to choose to opt in rather than opt out. Apparently, that's already part of the law, but we want to clarify that so local education agencies can make a decision. Several did have that as their policy prior to the 2010 law. Montgomery, Howard, and a few others already had that. They didn't have to once the state chose the new policy in 2010. But now with this going back, we want to clarify that LEAs can choose to. So that would be the amendment, would move it to making sure that local education agencies had that option.
Are you moving the amendment?
I am moving that amendment.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the amendment passes. Motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 1492 passes favorably as amended. We have a few concurrences. So I'm gonna go through all of them and then we can have a motion to adopt or not adopt all the concurrences. The first one is on House Bill 63, tax credit for dwelling house of disabled veterans. And the motion is to concur on the Senate version. That is a cross file. Any questions on that one? The second one is House Bill 54. That was my bill. The motion is to concur on the Senate amendment, which just adds a sponsor because there was a delegate not in this committee that desperately wanted to be a sponsor. This has to do with transfer of air legatees. The next one is House Bill 2, property taxes, authority of counties to establish a subclass and set of special rate for vacant and abandoned properties. Move to concur. This crossfile, I believe, was Delegate Boyce's. Yep, which we passed. Yeah, we held his, yeah. House Bill 785, the Freedom to Read Act, and the motion is to concur. And do we have another one?
Favorable.
Hold on, one more. Hold on. House Bill, oops, Alistair can read it.
Okay, House Bill 416, which is about active shooter drills. Senate amendments just clarify the manner in which data on psychological impacts of the drills is collected and clarify that it is the Maryland Center for School Safety rather than the State Department of Education who determines whether particular drills have loud sounds that could intimidate or other activities that could cause psychological effects in students and staff.
So any questions on that? Okay, is there a second? Can I get a second? Okay, Delegate Long?
Clarify, so are we going to vote on consent calendar on all the bills that you just mentioned, or was there some bills that were pulled out and held, and there's some that you actually talked about?
It was a motion to concur.
I understand.
It's a consent calendar.
Huh?
Correct me if I'm wrong. All we're doing is the committee is voting to concur with the Senate amendments. We're not going to vote again up or down on the bills, although we will do so on the floor. You and I voted against several of those bills on the list. We don't have to do it again here in the committee. We'll do it when we go to the floor after Chair Atterbury announces that the committee moved to concur in the amendments.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I just
thank you,
wanted to
Delegate.
clarify.
Yeah, we want to
Thank
make sure
you.
everybody, like, we're not
Okay.
re-voting for the bill. You're not on record as voting for the bill by accepting the concurrence.
Thank you.
Voted against it.
Thank you, Delegate Buckle. Did you have something to say? Okay,
Just like before I go on to the line.
Okay, so there was a motion to concur as a consent calendar. It was seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, the concurrence is passed. Thank you very much. I'm sure we will be voting again tomorrow at some point. I will let you know, I know that on Saturday, we're gonna have to be here at 9:30. 2 sessions as of right now. I don't know that we will be here Friday, but I don't know. Yes.